What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man Fire himself, Halfpint once again, and today we're doing something what we call a big pro gamer move. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going back to DMC because the DMC community siren has summoned. There's a brand new rumor going amongst the community, which has some credibility to it. As some of you have known, back in the day I used to cover DMC content. It's actually how I got my channel noticed on YouTube in the first place. That's how I started my whole channel. So here's the gist of it. A brand new rumor came out recently, and, well, it came out a couple weeks ago, actually. And it started off from a Twitter post that came from Aesthetic Gamer, aka Dusk Golem. Now, the credibility from this guy can still range quite a bit, but I guess he was the man that came up with the information of Resident Evil 8, or Resident Evil Village, before it was announced. Also, sorry about the fireworks in the background. Oh, happy 4th, everyone. So I guess he was right about Resident Evil 8. And then it announced and it was Resident Evil Village. So, okay, so he has some credibility to him. But at the end of the day, still an anonymous source, so still have to take it with a grain of salt. Well, a couple weeks ago, someone was asking him, hey, you mentioned on an older post that Resident Evil 7 and DMC5 could possibly get next-gen ports. Is that just speculation based on what you've observed, or did you hear this from one of your sources? Aesthetic Gamer, or whatever this guy wants to be called, followed up by a bit of both. However, I had clarification since then on what the plan is for the current RE Engine games in next gen, but I won't be sharing it for now. Blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so what's exciting here is he's basically talking about the fact that there is some credibility to more stuff happening to Devil May Cry 5 here. Everything really within the RE Engine specifically. But it also brings up another interesting point. At this point in time, this was halfway through June, people were talking about the idea of them just adding more to Devil May Cry, the fact that they're porting it over. But I mean, it was kind of a far-fetched idea. We've been clamoring for stuff ever since the beginning of last year when Devil May Cry 5 first came out. We were all looking for sort of new stuff. Everywhere Capcom was talking about, you guys want new stuff? Be sure to let us know. And then it just went radio silent. So we're all here just clamoring for information. However, it's possible they've been working in the background. Because a little bit further. So a little bit after this particular Twitter post, there was a new leak on 4chan. Right about now, the bells and whistles should be firing right now. Just a red alert, take a pinch of salt, take a whole heap of salt, and just start tossing it all over the place. Except, there's more information that's come out to add more to the credibility of this particular post. And also, the whole reason why my channel exists actually comes from Devil May Cry 5 leaks. This game is not a very well kept secret in general, so not saying we should entirely believe it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. Let's get into the post. Alright, so right off the bat, he talks about it's a checklist of things that are going to happen. A, it'll be coming out on PC, PlayStation 5, Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. So current gen, next gen, and your local gaming computer. Lady Trish Virgil will be playable. V will have new abilities and will be playable on every chapter, which is pretty exciting, but also the most fake sounding part of this. They're giving new abilities to V, which is admittedly good in my opinion, because I dread playing V. He got really boring really quick. You rely on his AI. V doesn't really fight himself. It's kind of dull and boring. All of his attacks are delayed with his minions, because they're AI based, but they listen for the most part. So it's exciting, but it sounds more like a fan's wet dream than what Capcom would actually end up doing. So we'll have to see what happens, and I'm excited if that's actually the case. That's true. As for Lady Trish and Virgil being playable, we've been asking that for years. As much as I want to dismiss this idea and just say it's just fans talking, we did have some early data mines on the PC version of the game of a Ladies Night DLC, so it's possible this is what's becoming. Instead of us getting actual DLCs throughout the course of the game's lifespan till the Special Edition, they just release everything on the Special Edition. Why they still do this, I have no idea. They could make money from downloadable content, but instead, they just put all of their resources into a Special Edition and then go radio silent to the next game once again, which are large jumps in between games. However, Capcom's been on a roll recently, so that might change, but either way, it kind of sucks that we don't have at least a smaller team of people working on more content. Speaking of more content, in this particular one, we'll be having new costumes for all characters. Dante and Nero will have their DMC4 costumes. Nice. And Lady and Trish will have bikini costumes. Oh, woo! As much as I want to just dismiss that and just say, absolute fan service.
Fan service to the max.
In Japan, stuff's pretty common. Or just Japanese games in general. They like their anime women. The post then goes on to say, Virgil will have his own story with 5 missions. Very exciting. If that were the case, since Virgil's his own playable character, and it'd be a first time actually for him, other than DMC, where he has his own campaign instead of DMC 3 and 4, where he literally just played through his the campaign already set in those games. He's actually gonna get his own. Very exciting. It's only 5 missions, but we don't know how big these 5 missions are going to be or how impactful for the story they might be. I'm hoping they're going to have a lot of replay value. It should be a lot of fun. Or hell, on top of that, they might also add them to the base campaign as well as these 5 missions. So, very exciting. It also says new secret ending that could be tied to the new campaign for all we know. If they add it to the regular campaign, be interesting. Don't really know what it would be. I'd have to go with Joe's assumption here, where he said it's likely Virgil being victorious instead. Because I can't really think of anything else. So we'll see how that pans out. Game will be $50, but if you own the game digitally, you will be able to buy it for $25. This is not a surprise. A lot of games nowadays, instead of reestablishing another version of the game, having to buy it for like $60 outright for a special edition of the game, they just give you an upgrade for it. Shadows of War did it. Tomb Raider has done it. Monster Hunter World has been brought up. A lot of games that do this where they just have an upgrade. So you just go straight to the special edition of the game. Considering the fact PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are considering the ability to have publishers bring their games over to the next console for free, so you can have all your games in your library, if publishers aren't stingy about it, it would make sense the fact that it says that you can carry your progress over within this leak. That, just makes sense. If you can upgrade your game for $25, you're still technically playing the same version of the game, which will also be carried over to the new consoles if you probably just do cloud saver or something along those lines. And then it says a holiday 2020 release, which is very exciting. And that's the end of the leak. So for the leak, it sounds... there's not much holding it up in evidence. It just sounds like a wish list of things we've been asking for years. Why would Capcom do something like this? Until recently. Allegedly, somewhere in this post, it said that it should be announced inside of like June 22nd, June 23rd. I went to go find the post, but since then, it's been taken down, which adds a little bit more credibility to it. Not always, but tends to. Wonder why the post has been taken down, especially inside of 4chan, where usually it's the roguelands. Usually things are left to fester and sit inside of 4chan, unattended. So, on top of that being a thing, its call date of being around the 22nd or the 23rd is now announced of when Xbox will be doing and hosting its Xbox event. Meaning it's very likely that we'll be seeing an announcement of the special edition of Devil May Cry 5 at this event. Maybe more Devil May Cry stuff. And that could have been a shot in the dark. It's very possible the guy just started throwing darts at dates because we knew it was late July for Xbox, and then he could have just been right and stuck the landing since the 22nd, 23rd, blah, 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 blah. However, the official Devil May Cry Japanese Twitter account has recently posted this here. From July 22nd, 2020 to August 26th, 2020, there will be some sort of Devil May Cry 5 related stuff. Blah, 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 blah. What's interesting is the fact that they say starting from July 22nd on the Xbox date. I don't find that too much of a coincidence considering the fact that if they're starting to hype up Devil May Cry 5, but particularly Devil May Cry 5 related stuff, it's not surprising they're doing it on the start date of Xbox, because it'd be a perfect time for them to announce a special edition. This Twitter post kind of adds a little bit more credibility to this leak being more real. Now again, all of this is speculation. None of this is confirmed true. All of it points to signs of this being true, and considering the fact that leaks are pretty common for Devil May Cry 5, this one actually has evidence to it, which is very exciting to see this sort of stuff come up. We've been waiting for a lot of this stuff to be coming for quite some time, so I'm excited to see new content coming for the Devil May Cry series. It's long overdue. It sucks that we couldn't just get content sooner. Like, guys, you have a huge community for Devil May Cry. You can add so much more content without having to wait until to pour all of your resources into a special edition of the game. I'm just saying. That's what's going on there. Pretty excited about that. If you guys want me to talk more stuff specifically about that in the future, let me know. I don't really do news videos for Devil May Cry anymore. I leave that to Joe and Devil, so check them out. I'd give them special shout-outs, but I already do all the time. Like, they're gonna get any more subscribers from me at this point. Although, if you guys want me to try to get a collaboration with those dudes so we can, I don't know, sit and talk about, shoot the shit about possibly these rumors just for entertainment purposes, let me know down in the comment section down below, because that might be a fun time. I love talking to the dudes anyway. They're good dudes. They're good dudes. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a hashtag finished and subscribe for... I do live streams so much. So subscribe so you know when I'm live streaming. I like talking to you guys in chat. It's a lot of fun. And for other content that I do all the time. Go check out those dudes. Tell them the Halfpint sent you. If you want to get in touch with me, you can follow me on Twitter. I like to do wild shenanigans on Twitter. As well as Discord down below. Thank you all for watching a long time, but not a hard time. And I'll see you guys next time.
You're a strange animal.